Okay, it's Saturday the 5th of March 2016. We're here at a place that most people wouldn't even dream of coming to. But there are many people that come here that want to have the experience of Spooks Hill. Yes, I'm actually here on the outskirts of Warboys, in between Warboys and Ramsey, between Fenside and a place called Sppoks Hill. It's known by many names, Haunted Hill, Spooks Hill, but we're really looking at Sppoks Hill. And as we look up there, we can see that this part is going downhill. We're going to prove, as I go through this short clip, is that there is a flat part of the plane that then will take you up the hill by no engine at all, by pure geomagnetics. Most people start from the second white line. Now clearly, if we start from the second white line, I can see, my senses, we are indeed going downhill, so that doesn't really help the myth and legend much. But as we start to walk along, and we walk along this route, we suddenly realise that we get a flat surface. And for some people, they say that they get a sense of weird sensation along the way. And as we walk along, you just basically see and feel that we're almost at a flat area now, and the flat area starts to follow itself up, starts to walk along the road, and about here now we're actually at a flat surface area. Now if we can just get a panoramic view there, the main area, just look around, we can see that up here at the top of the hill here is the wider side, it's the higher side, we are definitely going uphill. But if we look back at ourselves now, that's where people say they have the illusion. Yeah, it's downhill, but from where we are now, we are looking uphill. So that it's very bizarre in that way. But as we come back round, and pan round, now we're going to do this in another test in a moment. We've done it already offline and tested the car to make sure that is this myth or legend, is it fact or fiction? One can only conclude that it has to be fact. And why, we ask ourselves, why is it fact? Why are we here in a place that's so remote and so amazing, the beauties of wonderful golden churches and cathedrals that people say have praise to God and their religion? Why is it in the middle of the fens do we have this magnetic energy working? And gravity hills. We can talk about gravity hills. Let's talk about magnetics and how that works. And there has to be levels where we start to walk along, and now we can see we are on a flat surface. Yet, for myself, I can feel a sense of an absolute sense of warmth, of energy, of healing. Now, some people might say that's just madness, but there has to be something to it. People come here that aren't religious at all. People come here that from all walks of life, from all ages, of all cultures, and they all say they experience exactly the same thing. And that is purely the energy that's built in within this. And as we feel, I can feel the sense of the energy as we walk along, and it's almost like it's just something quite different indeed. It's almost as if it's pulling you, it's tugging you, but at the same time it's caressing you. And that's the thing that's really important here, is that it's not a negative energy, it's a very positive energy. If any of you watched that car go up the hill, we would have seen it going up the hill. It wasn't going down, it wasn't on a flat surface, it was going up the hill. Yeah, and we're going to prove that in a moment when we go back into the vehicle, and we're going to see the car move on its own, as it were. As we follow back up here, there's stories of the train. This is a disused railway track. As I say, if you guys want to come here, PE282UA will get you into the area. It's a disused railway track that's been out of commission for many, many years. There's stories of how a train full of children died on this track. It's myth and legend, it's not true. There's stories about how the girl died on the track and she pushes cars up the hill to push them to safety. Well, that doesn't make sense, because if the girl was pushing you up the hill to get you to safety, she's pushing you towards the railway track, not away from it. So therefore she's pushing you to danger. So again, that's a myth and a legend. What we're talking about here is pure geomagnetics. And that's what works here. And we have them all over the planet, guys. Just research it, check it. It's pure geomagnetics. And it stops about here. Now, when we get into the car, we're going to do it from the point of a flat surface and prove that the metal will react with the magnetic flow and will carry the car along without any engine or any brakes or anything. It will just flow the car along. We know that's what's going to happen. We've just done it literally 10 minutes ago offline. When people say, I can't emphasise that enough, do not start at the second white line. It's myth and legend. That is slightly downhill there. And that's what's giving you the roll forward. Try it from where we are going to try it from. We're just going to walk back down. We can see it's, if we look down the hill now, if we just pan back down to the hill, we can see it's going straight downhill. You've got the roll of the car that's doing that.
Yeah.
But then you're uphill. So I want to take it back again, guys, whilst... Right, so we know that the white line at the front is a myth and legend. That's not really actually true.
Yeah.
What we want to say is, well, we know that there is a dip in the road there, which makes the cars go that way. We've got a car coming this way. Oh, we'll have to just pull over for a second. Just let him go past. Don't often see a car this way, do you?
No.
Well, it is a free road, I guess. So what I want to do is just get back to where it's a flat surface. Yes, I've got the engine running. That's not right. Okay. And that's definitely uphill, isn't it?
Yeah.
Right. If that was just a slope, the car would just stay at this speed the whole time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But it'll go faster in a minute, I guess.
I mean, did the first time.
It is getting faster.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
And you're definitely going uphill here. You can see it's going
Yeah.
uphill. It's not a light illusion. It's not anything. We're still going. But what's different?
We're not rolling back.
Right, so we didn't get as far as the white mark that people say,
Yeah.
but we are going up a hill
Mm.
and we are not rolling back.
Yeah.
No.
And if we look at the bridge, which I'll just take you up to so you can see that, the bridge here we can see is arched as an original train bridge would be. But if we look at the brickwork here, where the white graffiti is, where people always talk about, we look at the graffiti here on the bridge, it slopes down, doesn't it? It's
Yeah.
coming down at a degrees of about 20% angle. So there's a 20-degree drop there
Yeah.
on the bridge, which is clearly taking you back down
Yeah.
from where we just came. There's no way, any other reason, logical reason as to why that would do that. And if we just look back on the pan of the road,
Yeah.
I'm just going to park somewhere over here, probably down at the bottom.
Turn it off now, because I can.
So in this part, we're now at the part where we are a flat surface, totally flat surface. And if I take my foot off the engine's running at the moment, I'm going to put the handbrake on, turn the engine off. As you can hear, there's no engine at all, just so you know that. Okay? And I'm just going to take the handbrake off and see what happens.
It is.
see now is it's now starting to look, it was stationary. This magnetics is moving. So at the point or the base of where the energy from the pyramid starts to happen, it's moving on its own accord. There's no explanation for this. This is what I wanted to prove from this point. From this point, I've got no handbrake on, yet the car is fully stationary. From that point that we were at the tree, which was not a car coming, from that point that we were at the tree to this point here, that's your geomagnetic field. Not the bridge, not the bottom. This section only is where your magnetics are. This is what happens. So if we can just walk that back, there's no handbrake on the car, we're going uphill. Yet the car's perfectly stationary with the two suspected victims in the back that are perfectly safe and sound. And so where we are here, at this point, yeah, literally we are looking at, let's do it in feet or even in metres, I guess. We're going to be looking at probably 6 metres in total. 6 metres in total where this geomagnetic field is. And it starts. When we saw the car, we didn't think the car was going to move, it did. And literally from this point here, at this section. And this is what we have. This pure section here of pure healing energy. Anyone who wants to come here and prove this wrong, be my guest. You will not. It's total truth. Okay, so that's downhill. I've got the engine running. I'm going to come up to this particular point. So just as a mark, you look at the fence there on the gate on the left hand side, come up about 2 metres. Now we're going uphill. And let's just stop that. And let's just take the handbrake off. And you think, oh, nothing's going to happen. Are we going to move? We're stationary. I can hear the car's trying to put itself forward. And it's going to do it. I just wanted to go on the outer boundary to see whether it could. Feet away from the pedals.
From the outside, when I was outside, you could see the wheels pulling.
Yeah, and it is.
The wheels were really tugging, even though it wasn't moving. The wheels were tugging.
But it's going to start to move in a moment. We might just be on the boundary of that geomagnetics. We need to go a little bit further closer, don't we?
Yeah.
I can hear it tugging, yes?
It's pulling.
It's not really getting much motion at all. So, I'm going to turn the engine on. Now, you can see where I am, what I said about the points, the 2 points, the 6 metres of geomagnetics that allow the car to move. So I'm just going to move it, so I was just on the outer boundary there. I'm going to bring the car now to there. So we're actually in range. Handbrake's on, car's off, release the handbrake, perfect. Yep. As you can see, we're going uphill. This is the magnetics that are doing this. Purely. Now we're in the range, that's 6 metres to pull us up the hill, and that's enough energy there. Now bearing in mind we've got 6 metres, but the back end of the car is another 3 metres away. So we're looking at a 9 metre distance, yeah, without the illusion at the bottom of the hill, which is indeed wrong. We've gone from a flat surface to an upward 20% gradient, and we've moved forward until a point that we stop there. We can see where the car has stopped. That's exactly as I said, as it would be from the shape and the dimensions, 6 metres in total.